Ever wanted to be the Emperor's unrelenting, unstoppable angels of death? Some of the galaxy's most merciless, brutal, badass motherfuckers? Me too.
Are you suggesting some kind of invasion from outer space?
This is always a question.
Space Marine 2 delivers almost everything you might want from an action-packed video game. It's got brutal melee and ranged combat, massive hordes of monsters to obliterate, jaw-dropping graphics, and visceral audio. It has a campaign that can be done alone or with friends, PvP and co-op PvE multiplayer, unlocks customization, and a whole lot of fun, hard-hitting, good and gory gameplay. The campaign is pretty short and a direct sequel to the first Space Marine game. You can watch some catch-up videos if you want a better idea of what's going on with the game's protagonist Titus, but for the record, I haven't played the first game and really didn't feel too lost because the story itself comes second to the grand setting and enthralling gameplay.
Form the necessary cleansing rites to placate your armor's machine spirit.
What the fuck?
Progression and customization across the different classes only comes into play in the multiplayer modes. The step up from normal to veteran difficulty in the campaign is a bit rough, but in the PvE it's very much based on recommended levels, so you can almost think of them more as New Game Plus for the operations missions. The PvP Eternal War multiplayer mode didn't feel that amazing if I'm honest, but maybe I just need to give it more time. The operations co-op PvE missions are really where the good stuff is at though, and where I finally got to change out to Dark Angel's green. Isn't he beautiful? Space Marine 2 isn't perfect though. I mean, for starters, I had to stop actually playing the game to go to work. Seriously though, we had a few issues with the server connections when starting missions, and if you don't have local servers in your region, you might have to deal with a bit of lag even when only playing with your local friends. On the note of playing with friends, I have one major other gripe with this game, but I'll get back to that in just a sec.
Something very familiar about all this.
You can't help but be reminded when playing Space Marine 2 that the Warhammer 40K tabletop game has, well, let's be kind and say it's inspired many other games you've played before. Or it feels that way. 8-foot genetically modified super soldiers in power armor, armored up military bros running around gothic cityscapes chainsawing monsters, Space Marines with tanks and aircraft engaging in warfare against hordes of alien creatures. You get the point. And in many ways it feels like we've come full circle, because Space Marines 2 feels sort of like you're playing Gears of War on crack, while dressed as Master Chief in the middle of a massive StarCraft conflict. There's shared DNA is what I'm saying. And speaking of shared DNA, Space Marines 2 is made by the same team that made World War Z. If you've played and are familiar with World War Z, you'll actually find quite a lot of similarities in Space Marine 2's core systems. And as a huge fan of its 4-player co-op, I'm still really annoyed that my 4-player group isn't able to play the Space Marine 2 co-op together because of the shift to only 3 players. They said they tested it out and it's a balancing thing. For the record, I blame Destiny for popularizing 3-player squads.
Move this man!
And if you're wondering where it goes from here, the 2024 and 2025 roadmap revealed that there are new missions, enemies, difficulties, and modes on the way. And I'm pretty excited for more of this because this is pretty damn good. Space Marine 2 and its huge levels and its amazing level design and architecture and its gameplay and fun gory action is just absolutely badass. And it lives up to the hype that I had going for it. It's full of epic moments and exciting gameplay whether you're jamming alone or with friends. If you're only in it for the single player campaign, I'd recommend you wait for a sale in future before buying it, but if you're all in on the campaign and multiplayer, Space Marine 2 is just a damn good video game. It's big, gory, and gorgeous, and there's nothing quite like the feeling of standing side by side with your friends, watching a massive horde descend down upon you before everything just goes out of control. It's one of those games where it becomes excruciating to just sit and work because all the footage is doing is reminding me about the great game that I'm not busy playing right now. I've really had a ton of fun with this game, and if it's not clear by now, I highly recommend it. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button to let me know, share it with your friends, and thanks for watching. I'll see you soon.
What the fuck?